That's really cool.
I know. I love it. We're talking about all things magical. And here's the which side is he on? He's right here. Here's the boy. There's Puck. Okay, I think we're live. I think we're live. Let me go ahead and check the feed and make sure that we are live. Okay, let's see here. Let me go into the room. All this fun tech stuff. But I got to tell you, today's conversation is going to be a little wicked and wild and wonderful because we have, okay, you're going to hear double sound here just for a second. We are talking with the amazing RADLEIGH Valentine. And do you guys notice what color he's in? RADLEIGH, I think, is the master of creating all of these magical oracle cards, angel cards, healing cards. And I'm hoping you have your book in front of you so you can hold your book up also. Yeah. I love the title of this book.
I have 3 books so far, and most recent is
the latest one,
A Compendium of Magical Things.
Magical Things. Love that. I'm sorry, I can't wait to read that. We're gonna do that as part of our book club.
Oh, cool. It's like a buffet through the spiritual communication world.
I love it. Yes, and that is actually a real cat sitting behind me. That is Puck. You guys have met Puck before. He shows up. It's kind of cool, right?
Puck is cool. That's a good name.
Puck, well, I was a theater major. So, you know, Puck is from Midsummer Night's Dream. Okay, RADLEIGH, you freeze every so often.
I don't know.
Okay, well, let's call in all the angels and heal your internet. How's that?
Michael.
So tell us about, I love all the sparkles in the purple because we're reading Dougal's color book now.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about what you're drawn to with all the sparkles in purple.
You know, that came when I very, very, very first started to tour for Hay House. And someone told me that Hay House guys could only wear black, that all Hay House spiritual teachers wore black, and that's all I could wear. And I was like, what? No.
That's Greg Braden wears black.
Well, a lot of them did at that moment. I think Wayne was kind of known for wearing black. And
he was.
You know, and so a lot of them were wearing black, but I was kind of like, yeah, no, don't think so. And actually, I happened to be in London, and I was at Harrods and came across these ruby slippers for guys. They were stunning. They were absolutely beautiful. They were handmade, Italian. They had red Swarovski crystals, the whole thing. And someone that I was with was like, you need to buy these. And I'm like, and I turned them over, and I used to be an accountant for people who don't know. So I turned them over and they're 1,200 pounds, which is basically like $1,600. And I'm like, no, I do not need these. I'm not buying these. And so I put them back. And so I went back to my room, and I just kind of was like, just to make sure. So I was like, okay, angels, should I buy these shoes? And I hear yes. And I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this right. So let's start over. Let's try it again. So I'm like, okay, clear, meditate. Okay, angels, should I buy these shoes? And I hear yes. And I'm like, ugh.
Oh, I love it.
So I go back to Harrods, and I'm like, okay, I'll buy the shoes, but I'm going to shop first. I could not find the men's department to save my life. But every turn I took, I wound up in the shoe department. And every turn. And so finally, I'm like, I give up. So I bought the shoes. I wore them to a Hay House event the next day, and it brought the house down. People flipped out. And completely flipped out. My shoes had more pictures taken of them.
Now I have to see the shoes. Are they close by?
They're
okay. You'll post a picture later.
Yes, absolutely.
But, that's so cool.
It turned in. It's when RADLEIGH went to sequins. It was like, okay, people like me to glitter, so I just will.
Well, it's gorgeous, and you're so sparkly. And I love behind you the genie bottle. Like that's one of the first things that was the second thing I saw, the genie bottle right behind you. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
That comes from How to Be Your Own Genie, Manifesting the Magical Life You Were Born to Live. So,
oh my God, we are going to have to figure out which book we all want to read of yours and read it together.
This is my mind and this is my heart. So,
okay. We might have to go with the genie then. And here's what's really funny. So this is interesting energy because Puck has dropped in a Facebook Lives, right? But look at him. He's like curled up behind me during this conversation. So I find that like
sleep through this.
Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. So he like wants to hang out with you. I just love it. He's like, okay, what's the conversation going to be about today?
Everything. Oh.
So I love all of your card decks. I mean, they are freaking amazing. And I just want to acknowledge everybody's popping in. So, we've got tons of people in here. Hi from West Michigan. Joanne says hi. Judith says hi. Cynthia says hi from Maine. Tanya, Diana. I just want to acknowledge everybody. Cynthia, Shauna, Judith, Shauna again. Joanne, Miriam, Diana, Deb, Kelly Lee. Oh my goodness. Lori, Brigitte from California. Wendy's here. Oh my goodness. Everybody's here. The gang's all here. Kim is here. Colleen is here. Shani, I know that you're in Australia and it's kind of late for you. It's like 10 o'clock there. Julie. Oh my goodness. Kathy. Amy, Deborah. Okay, I'm saying hi to everybody, okay?
You're like Miss K on Romper Room. I see Melissa and I see Shawnee and I see Cynthia from Maine and I see
do you remember? I think we are the only two who probably remember Romper Room. And I don't know if that was just like an Easter thing. Did you grow up back east? No, you didn't grow up back east. You're from the South.
Well, in the South, but the Southeast. And I was actually on Romper Room. I almost got thrown off. They literally at a commercial break went to my mom and said, if he doesn't stay in his chair, we're kicking him off. Because I wouldn't stay, because I'm quintuple Sagittarius. You know, I couldn't sit still. And so I would get up, I'd move around, I'd go look at the toys, I'd go, you know, and they were like, sit him in his chair or he's out of here. I'm 5 years old and I'm being thrown off of Romper Room.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. That's your first like totally radical move, getting thrown off.
Oh, possibly. I guess maybe.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so show and tell some of your cards. Let's play a little show and tell.
Okay. Well, all right.
Go ahead, like grab whatever deck resonates for you.
Okay. Well, so for today, the deck that I grabbed is Archangel Power Tarot cards. And the reason that I grabbed this one is this deck for me is all about empowerment and self-confidence and getting the courage to do what you want to do. And I think empowerment is something a lot of people are not feeling right now as we sort of sit in this space of being sequestered or sit in this space of not moving about. And so people feel particularly disempowered. I actually had someone say to me not too long ago, and I thought it was really clever, that the reason that we have a toilet paper shortage brouhaha is because that's something people can feel empowered about. They can go buy toilet paper. They can't go to a restaurant. They can't go to work. They can't decide if they're going to go have a party. But hey, they can buy toilet paper. They can do that. They can choose to do that. But so this is a deck that's all about empowerment and self-confidence. And so I sort of like reached for that one today. I have all of them here, but this is the one that just sort of was like, yeah, let's go with empowerment and confidence and giving people their sense of divineness back.
I love that. Okay, I'm not gonna do that now, but I'm gonna have you pull a few cards. Maybe think of any questions that you might have for Radleigh, and put them in the comments, and maybe we'll do. Do you want to do a couple things?
Whatever you want. I don't care.
Okay, great. So we're going to do that. But what I really want to talk about is what you're really like. Talk about. You said that the heart of your work is really in the genie book, right? That's like, and your mind is in the magical book. So talk to me a little bit about like what's on your heart, what's in your heart right now. Just like, what do you want the world to know right now about what we're all going through and all this mishigas and whatever?
I mean, How to Be Your Own Genie is really a book that Hay House asked me to write that book. They literally came to me and said, we want you to write this book. They didn't have a title. They didn't care what I called it per se, but explaining the law of attraction. It's a way of explaining the law of attraction. Yeah, so it's a metaphor, and it's a metaphor that talks about the genie that is within and the divine magic that is inside of us at any given moment that we are connected. And it talks about the metaphor from the standpoint of the magic of rubbing a lamp or a genie bottle, whichever symbol you like, the magic never happens when the genie is inside the bottle. The magic happens once we're outside the bottle. And so the book talks about how to connect with the genie within in order to get out of the bottle where you can start creating magic for yourselves. And Hay House wanted me to write it because one of the number one things people want to know about me is how did you go from being a certified public accountant to, Mr. Tarot and angels and magic. And so it was a scary book to write, Liz. That was very scary because because I felt like I had touched on something really powerful and magical that worked. But if I was wrong, then the other alternative was I just got lucky. And I didn't like that answer at all. And so to write this, to put it on paper.
Okay, so you're breaking up. You know what? Do you have? You know what? Do you have any other windows open on your computer right now?
No, I don't.
Not in your house, but on your.
Well, I looked, but no, there's nothing on my computer open except this.
You can open up your windows in your house. All right, so I think we got most of that.
Yeah.
So how can we step into that magical part of ourselves? Like a couple of tips on how we can step into that magical part.
I think the very first thing is faith. Faith is paramount. I sort of mentioned earlier that I'm quintuple Sagittarius, and Sagittarians are all about faith. And I like to almost capitalize faith because I truly believe that if you can get your mind around the concept that the universe loves you, the divine source, God, goddess, I don't care what word you use. They're all the same to me. But if you can just get your mind around that concept that the universe adores you, thinks you are the cutest little cutie pie that ever did exist, exactly, and is devoted to your happiness, devoted to your joy, even if you don't feel it at the moment, even if what you are experiencing doesn't pan that out. If you can just grab hold of that and hold on to it, you can get through ding dang near anything in your life. And when you do that, also magic starts to happen. So faith, you said to give you a couple of things. So I'm going to say faith, and I'm going to say staying awake. And so one of the things that's true in my life is that I am constantly paying attention to everything. So anything that happens in my life, any tiny little synchronicity, it's like I had a light bulb break the other day, and so I had to buy a special one to replace it. It wouldn't go in. No matter what I did, the old one came out, the new one would not go in. Nothing I tried. I bought 3 of these new ones. None of them would go in. And so I'm like, all right.
Because all the light bulbs are so many different sizes.
So I asked the universe, and Archangel Michael, who's the archangel of fixing things, help me to get this to work. Nothing, nada. And I'm like, okay. there is an idea. So immediately I start analyzing this. I'm like, what is this? And so my mind went was, there is an old idea that is broken now. It no longer works for me. I think I know what the new one is, but I'm not right. It doesn't quite fit.
Wow. Okay.
And so that's
Okay.
how my mind works. It's like, okay, there is a reason why this is happening. Now, I'll
Mhm.
admit, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, but but I really honestly think that nearly everything that happens in our lives has magic in it. And the more you are awake to the magic, the more you pay attention to the abracadabra, the bibbity bobbity boo. The more you pay attention to that, the more magic there is in your life. And so if you ask me for two, I'm going to pick faith and I'm going to pick awakeness.
Okay. I love this. I love this. And so I do have a quick question for you. How do you, because I've heard this a lot and I've experienced this a lot for myself. If somebody doesn't believe that the universe loves them or has their back, do you just do it anyway? Do you just act as if?
I think so. I call it going to the faith gym. And so if we go to the gym and we haven't been to the gym in a very long time and we're feeling pretty weak, if we put 500 pounds on the leg press machine, we're asking for a world of hurt, or nothing's going to happen. We have to start a little smaller. And so what I like to tell people is to ask the universe for small things up front. Ask the universe for small signs.
Okay, he's frozen again. He'll come back. He'll come back, you guys.
A simple thing from the angels: white feathers, pennies on the ground, the number 444, an angel song on the radio, anything. Just give me a little something. And when that happens, and happens quickly and happens decisively, and you start to notice these synchronicities racking up, these things where after a while, if you just keep doing it, you start to go, wow, well, you can suddenly like lift 10 pounds of faith, and then 20 pounds of faith, and 30 pounds of faith. And that's when you can start to realize that if the universe cares enough to throw a white feather in your path, that's how much it loves you, to give you a silly white feather on the ground. Think how much it must love you to give you what else you might desire in order to be happy, to be joyful.
And then I often wonder, how does the universe energy support all of these billions and billions and billions of people and beings on the planet?
Because it's big.
I think about that. I was praying the other day, and I was talking to my angels and my mom, and I said, I really need some clarity here, really need some clarity. And God, I'm not going to bother you right now because you've got a shitload of other things to worry about at the moment. But I'll call upon the people that are assigned to me.
But see, no, I mean, because it's like that whole limitation to God. Oh, you've got too much to do, so I'll call an angel that's assigned to me. That's a human construct. That's where we just put God in a box and go, I can't conceive that you could take care of that many people in the world, and therefore you must not be able to. Well, that's just humanness. And, it's like certain religions like to say that we are made in God's image. But what's happening is we're trying to make God in our image. That's what we keep doing.
Whoa.
And it doesn't work well at all.
I love that. We're trying to make God in our image. That is perfect.
We are, and it doesn't work.
That is so perfect.
Not how things are. The universe is huge, humongous, the divine source. It's vast. It's beyond anything we can even comprehend or conceive of or understand. And we don't have to understand it. But it knows us, it loves us, it adores us, and it is absolutely devoted to our attention. And guardian angels are there for us. We all have guardian angels. And I love guardian angels. I'm a big guardian angel dude. I love the archangels too, but I'm really into the guardian angels because they're
So
just there for us.
So what's the difference? Like, can you tell me the difference between guardian angels and archangels? And is there like some kind of a hierarchy somewhere?
Well, there is a thing called the nine choirs of angels, and whether or not you buy that or not is kind of like, it's kind of up to you. To me, spiritual belief systems are, what do you believe? It's almost like telling the it's a language. It's like, if you like tarot, okay, it's like that's just a language of the divine. You can just as easily talk to the divine through angels, or talk to the divine through astrology, or talk to the divine. I don't care. The universe doesn't care. The universe is just like, tell me how you want to talk to me, and I will talk to you that way.
Oh, I just got goosebumps.
Just I don't care. I am completely fluent. This is the universe. The universe is like, I am fluent. I don't care. You pick the language and we'll go there. But so whether you believe in the nine choirs of angels or not, it doesn't matter. If you choose, if that's a valid system for you, the universe is going to embrace it and go, good, we're going to do the nine choirs of angels. Let's go. But the difference between archangels and guardian angels are assigned to you at birth. They're like devoted to you. They're there for you. They know you better than you know yourself. They did that past life with you that you don't even remember. So but they remember it. They're like, oh God, he is acting out that whole lounge singer thing in 1942. God, this again.
So it's like a team that you have with you through eternity, through like different lifetimes.
Absolutely. They weave in and out. And I have talked to other angel people like Kyle Gray and Diana Cooper.
Okay, we're having a bleep out moment. Just stay with it. Radleigh will be back.
I'm back. We all have like our little things where it's.
Oh.
Agree, it doesn't matter. What matters is, what do you believe? Yeah. Because that's how the angels will talk to you. Archangels are kind of like the glitzy, sexy Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie kind of the angel realm. And they are omnipresent, so they can be with Liz at the same time they're with Radleigh, at the same time they're with the dude down the street. So you don't have to worry. But part of what people like about them is they come in glitzy, fabulous, sparkly colors. They have particular, they have specialties, which people like that. We as human beings, we really like to put things in boxes. And so Archangel Michael, very popular. He's about safety and protection, and we don't feel safe sometimes on planet Earth. And so Michael is very popular. I'm real into Uriel, the light of God, who comes in golden glitter, who's all about epiphany. And partially, I just love that word, but epiphanies and brilliant ideas and emotional healing and transformation. And they all kind of have their little things. And so it's like calling a plumber, it's like, I don't feel good. I'm going to call Archangel Raphael because that's his shtick, health.
So I love this because I got like this whole visual, especially when you talk about Archangel Michael, because we all have this big visual and it's different for everybody. But for me, it's just this massive, energy with blonde hair and then gold glitter. You said Archangel Uriel and gold.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just like the visuals and the feelings that come with it. Every name that you said or all the descriptions. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, for some reason, everybody thinks Archangel Michael is just like this blonde hunk.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I mean, it's like he's been portrayed that way throughout history. So why even mess with that? Okay, great. Fantastic.
We'll take it.
Sure, why not?
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, let's play a little bit with the cards. What do you think? Okay, so let me see. We've got a couple questions here. And if people are making comments like crazy. So someone has a kind of a heavy question, and I can't find it now, but it said, will Kyle make it? So let me find out who that was, and let's find out where they put it. Kids Know Magic listening. Okay, I cannot find it again. But someone said, will Kyle make it? Would you post and tell us a little bit more?
Let's go with, will Kyle make it?
Okay. Okay.
So 10 of Ariel. So this is a very positive card, but it's a card that talks about family, about caring about family, but it's caring about family from the standpoint of legacy. It's caring about family from the standpoint of being able to take care of the family. So if will Kyle make it means will Kyle get through his challenges, in particular, if those challenges are about finances and abundance, then yes, he'll make it. If the question is, will Kyle take this moment to pass over? Well, Kyle could, because this is a card that talks about legacy and family trees and what we leave behind from the standpoint of family in that regard. And so it's a positive card because it's a card of transition into something that is better. And so we can look at this so many different ways. We can look at Kyle getting past a physical challenge in this lifetime from the standpoint of the material world, or we can look at Kyle moving on to a better life in the next phase of his existence where things feel happier. So Kyle's going to make it. It's just our definition of whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. In fact, it's really funny that this question came up. Today is the anniversary of my mother's passing. So
wow, it's yahrzeit, as we say in Judaism. Well, here's another interesting piece. You pulled out 10 of Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
Ariel, and exactly the way you spelled it there was my mom's name.
Oh.
She's in spirit, and for the first time ever, I don't know why I wore this pin today. This was her pin, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's a butterfly, and okay, it's upside down. There we go. It's a butterfly, and I wore this today, and I don't know why I decided, I'm going to wear a pin, my mom's pin, and it's your mom's yahrzeit. So just in that one card, we got your mom's.
Well, it's a lot of mom energy.
Yeah.
And so the person asking the question could be a mom.
Yes. Oh, I love that. And you guys, I just looked at the feed and I noticed that I'm really, really, really pixelated. I apologize. I left my clear camera at work today. On our feed, I look good, Radley, but on the Facebook feed, I'm really pixelated. So I'll try and stay very, very still so I don't look so out of whack here. Okay, so now we have another question by Lynn Slauson.
Hi, Lynn.
Lynn is asking, right now, every direction I have thought was the right one, trying to follow the synchronicities and talking to my angels, etc., just isn't working. And the one major project I'm involved in doing, equine assisted therapy, so working with horses, just got cut out indefinitely due to the virus. Don't know what else to do. I'm trying to have faith. What more can I do?
Well, we're going to pull a card for her, but the first thing that I would...
Could Radley, you bleeped out. So Radley, you might have to repeat that because you bleeped out.
Sure. So sometimes cards just pop into my mind, and the card that just popped into my mind for her is Ace of Air or Ace of Michael, depending on which of my decks you pick. But it's a card that talks about where we keep having speed bumps in our lives. And so I like to use it as an analogy that, you pull into the Safeway parking lot, and you come up and there's a speed bump. Well, you don't look at the speed bump and go, oh, well, there's a speed bump. I guess I'll go home. We go over the speed bump. And so I like to think of this from the standpoint, excuse me, of the universe trying to help us to refine our plans. We can think that we have our plans. We think that we know what will make us happy. We think that we know what will bring us joy. And yet the universe is like, not so much. And so when we start to have these situations where we feel like things aren't going the way we want them to go, we have a tendency to let our egos get involved, and we start really focusing on, this is not the way I envisioned it. This is not the way I wanted it. And so what I try to encourage people is to go from the standpoint of, this is not the way I envisioned it, but there has to be a reason. There has to be a purpose. I am just going to stick to that like white on rice and just keep going and believe that if I continue to pay attention to the roadblocks or the speed bumps, that the universe is going to present to me an awareness of, now I get it. Now I get it.
Wow. Okay.
And so, but let's pull her a card real quick.
Did you get that, Lynn? I'm hoping that Lynn is still here. Are you getting this?
Did we throw her out?
Well, let's see. No. There's so many different questions and comments. Okay, good.
3 of Ariel. So here we have a gentleman who has gone from this side of the card, which is full of chains and anchors and things that weight us down. And he has moved to the other side where there's a paper airplane allowing him to fly high. He has made the move from this space where the thoughts were not necessarily positive, but holding him back, to this space over here where things are positive, where things are joyful, and in that, magic happens. Archangel Ariel shows up. Ariel is also the archangel of abundance and prosperity, which sounds like exactly what Lynn could use. Okay.
Yes.
So, and your mom again, hello. So
I know, I was going to say, this is so funny.
Yes,
It's so
maybe
funny.
Every card I pull will be Ariel today, and if so,
That
that's
is
the message
so
for you.
interesting. I was just going to ask you, are they all Ariel cards?
No.
Do you know
No, they are not.
Oh,
Only
my
the pink
goodness. Okay, I so need this deck. Tanya, would you post the link where everybody can purchase this deck if they want to? I'm sure that there's a link somewhere if anybody wants to purchase the deck. I'm getting it, so I gotta have it. Okay, so that is really funny that it was Ariel again. I love that. All right, what else have we got? Oh, so someone is trying to decide on the best state to move to that would best fit me. Oh, I love this one. Let me see if I can.
Does she have options?
Yes, she does. Okay, hold on. Let me try and find this on the feed so I can find her name. Here we are, Vicky. Vicky Ridgway Barton. Vicky wants to know, she's thinking of New Mexico, Washington, Colorado, or Oregon.
Okay, hold on.
Ready?
New Mexico, Washington, Colorado, or what was the last one?
Oregon.
Oregon. Okay. So we're going to pull, the way you do this is we're going to pull 4 cards, and we're going to pull them in the order in which she gave them to us. Okay. So 2 and 1. So, all right, New Mexico, Washington, Colorado, Oregon. So here's what we have. I'm not super crazy about any of these. But let's just really quick go through it. So New Mexico, 4 of Ariel. This is a card of Ariel, I know, right? 4 of Ariel. And so this is a card of extremes. And so it's where things are either great or they're not so great. And so it's a little bit of an unbalanced, unsteady existence. For Washington, 5 of Raphael. This is a card of a tendency to think things aren't going great, to have a tendency to miss where the good stuff is because the bad stuff is driving us nuts. Of the 4, the one I like the best is Colorado, 7 of Gabrielle. This is a card of challenges, but it's also a card of rising above challenges. And so she would succeed in Colorado. She'd do great in Colorado, but it might feel like a constant challenge. My least favorite is Oregon. This is 10 of Gabriel. Does it look like anybody to you? Cinderella. So this whole sense of overworking, this whole sense of, oh my God, I'm having to do everything and nobody's helping me. So I'm not super crazy about any of these. So it's also possible that one of the reasons why she is in such a challenge of being able to figure out where to go is because she hasn't found the right place yet.
Oh, okay, Vicky, did you get that? So maybe you just haven't found the right place. What if we threw Barb? I love it. Barbie's here. What if we threw in Arizona? Because all of these states that she's naming all surround us.
Okay, Arizona.
I know it's really hot here, though. She might not want to be in heat because all those other places are kind of cold, colder than us. Ace of Ariel!
This is great. Okay. Land of milk and honey, fantastic opportunities, fantastic financial opportunities, getting to do something that you love, following your dreams. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
Goddess. Oh my goddess. So Barb needs to move here.
One. Let's do that.
My mom is just saying Ace of Ariel. That is crazy.
That's a great one. Do that.
That is crazy. Oh, that was really good. Okay, let's see. Let me see if she made a reply to that at all. Yes, thanks. That helps. Okay, Vicky, what do you think about Arizona? Because you got the Ace of
Ariel. Just look into it. I mean, you can't go to Arizona at a more beautiful time than right now.
It's beautiful here now, but it is getting kind of hot. Like if you can survive the 10 months of summer and the 2 months of, no, I'm just kidding. It's not 10 months of summer. I mean, it's pretty brutal in the summertime. Okay, so she said she was thinking about Arizona. It was in her thoughts. Oh, the land of Liz. I love it. Okay, so should we do a couple more? Oops, are you there? Did you get frozen? Okay,
yeah, I did. Question again?
Okay, so let's see if we can. You want to do another one?
I don't care. It's up to you.
Okay, let's go. Yes, this is so much fun. Okay, so Debbie has a question.
Okay, hi, Deb.
Debbie Silver. She says 3 out of 4 of my kids are going to live in San Diego. So we want to move there too.
Well, yeah.
I know. Why would you want to stay in New York? I'm from New York. I love New York. We live in New York. Should we rent and go back and forth for a while or wait and move into a new house?
Okay, so say it again because I froze up. What was the question again?
So she wants to know if they should rent and go back and forth from New York to San Diego or just pick up and just move into a new house into San Diego.
Okay. Well,
right? I think that's what you're asking, Debbie.
Okay. The accountant wants her to rent.
The accountant wants you to rent.
But let's see what the spiritual dude says.
Exactly.
Okay. So rent. No, I was wrong.
Or buy.
See, sometimes the accountant isn't right. So for the question of rent, we got Page of Michael. It's not a bad card, but it's like things kind of like not liking the way things happen, not liking the way it sort of works out. Whereas if you just go ahead and go for it, it's the Chariot, which is a card of great success, great happiness, things going really well. It is not easy, okay? So the Chariot isn't just success that falls from the sky. The Chariot is success that happens out of our hard work and our efforts. My other half and I are thinking about moving also.
To
And
Arizona?
oh God, no.
Nobody wants to move here. It's too
That's too hot. But I just keep thinking about how he would probably like come unglued because it would be such a hard move. It's like, I think I'm going to send you and you just live there. And when you see me, I'll have our stuff with us.
So the Chariot is good. It's good.
Yeah, great. It's great. Look at this. Look how happy and joyful that is. So it's great. It's a lot of work, but it will turn out well in the end.
Okay, good. All right. Diana has a really good question.
Okay.
Diana has it. And can I tell you something? You're going to think I'm the biggest dork in the world, but so I used to read Rider Tarot. I used to read tarot cards when I was much younger. And I kind of got out of it. But of course, I know Ace of Wands. I know, 10 of Cups, the whole thing, right? Because you kind of memorize that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just got it when you pulled out the Chariot. I was like, oh my God, this is all based on the real tarot.
Right.
Like I wasn't getting it. It was like,
that's why it's called tarot.
Tarot cards, I know.
Yes. For people who don't know, tarot is a set system of 78 cards, 5 suits. You can't monkey with it and it still be tarot. Whereas oracle cards, like here's an oracle card deck, Angel Answer Oracle cards, is a free system. You can do whatever you want. It can be 44 cards or 72 cards or 16 cards or 1 card or whatever, based on anything you want. Every card can be anything you want. But tarot, you can play with it. You can be creative with it. You can represent it in new and exciting ways. But the Chariot is still the Chariot.
Exactly. Ace of Wands is still
Ace of Wands. You can call it Ace of
Ariel.
Well, actually, that's coins. So you can call it Ace of. You can call it Ariel, but it's still Ace of Coins. It still has that energy. It still has that feeling to it.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so Diana has a really good question, and I don't know if you can. Why don't you choose which deck you want to get this from?
Okay.
Okay, and this is. Thank you for asking this question because this is excellent. She's asking, can you pull a card for the country? Like how we will come out of this? Will we see a new shift of positivity?
Mm-hmm. So let's go to Angel Answer Oracle cards. And plus,
look at the cover of that. Show us the cover.
Matches what I'm wearing so nicely. So let's do that. So,
oh my God, purple was my mom's favorite color, by the way.
Oh, of course it was. Of course it was. So, all right, here we go.
And I was looking at my shirt because it is a little purple.
So,
do you all see that?
Big happy
changes. Oh,
big happy changes. So
is everybody crying with me on that
one? So it's a great card. It's a card of, all of this energy is coming from the heart chakra of this angel, and so it's like the light from above that comes down to us. So yeah, big happy changes. So I do think that we are changing. There's a lot of people who consider this to be the great awakening, the great awareness. I think Diana Cooper, who's like the grande dame of angels in Europe, is calling it that.
He bleeped out. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, you said that the grande dame of angels is calling it that, and then we lost about 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. So just that she's lovely and I adore her, but it's this moment where we wake up It's this moment, it's like we have been waiting for this our entire lives as spiritual people. Have we not? Have we
Yes.
not? Has it
Yes.
not just been 1971 is gonna be the year? I mean, we've been talking about the age of Aquarius well before it was the age of Aquarius. We've
Yes.
been waiting. And so here we've been forced to stop, to literally stop. Whether we like it or not, we've been forced to stop. And the skies are clearing up and the water is clearing up. And suddenly, and we're like going, maybe I don't want things to go back to the way they were. And Facebook just yesterday said, we have 50,000 employees and we've decided they work from home just fine.
Wow.
Isn't
that great?
And I think that's going to happen everywhere. The accountant part of me is like, no, there is no way that these companies are going to send their employees home and then realize that is okay.
Yeah.
We don't need that office building.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think a lot of us are starting to go, I don't want things to go back to the way they were completely. Do we want to go back to seeing each other, holding each other, embracing each other, touching each other, engaging each other? Yes. My husband is about to lose his mind. If he doesn't go back to work, he is literally going to crack. He is going to go back to work because he's going to crack and then I'm going to crack.
Right. Exactly.
So he's got to go back to work.
Right. Well, and also all of us coming together, are we going to be able to, and let's ask it. Okay, we're going to ask this on the air, but I was actually afraid this is very self-serving, but it's self-serving in a community way. Are we going to be able to do live events again, like our big celebrate your life events and retreats? And I'm afraid to hear the answer because I'm like, I'm going to cry.
Oh, so let's let's see.
Oh, you guys, I'm nervous to have the answer.
So, King of Michael. Okay. So King of Michael is this brilliant strategy person, brilliant speaker. Okay. Like brilliant, the person that you want to come talk to people about how to do things. So to me, this is a yes, but it means you're going to learn a new way to do it.
Oh shit. He froze again.
Okay. You're going to learn a new way to do it. Okay. And this is so totally the way everybody's having to learn a new way. I have a student who works at Apple. I'm like, I need Apple to reopen.
Yeah, but what is a new, and I've heard this before, like the new way of doing it. And I don't want it to be online. I want it to be.
No, but I don't think that you didn't ask that. You didn't ask. You asked, are we going to be doing live events? And yes, I think you will, but I think there'll be a different way about it. Something about it will be different. Apple is totally changing the way they do business. My husband works for Tiffany and Company. They're having to like completely rethink, okay, how do we do this? Out of this is going to come brilliant, creative new ideas. And so perhaps part of what this is yes, you do live events, but they're also online simultaneously. It's both.
Yeah, I've never done that. I've never done live stream. Yeah.
But
I mean, I did it a couple of times years ago, but it was like people were not as thrilled. But
the world is different now.
Yeah. And maybe that's what it's opening up for us.
Perhaps that person in Hamburg who would just love to go to a Celebrate Your Life event just simply can't. But if you're live streaming, she can.
Yes. Oh, everybody's going, live events, please.
Yes, well, me too. I love live events too. And every single last event I had this year, with the exception of one, has been canceled. Just yesterday, they closed Kripalu. So
they did,
for the rest of the year. So that's 450 jobs.
Yeah.
So that really is awful. But it's like there's a reason for all of this. It's a grand reason. It's a global reason. And in the end, it will be okay. We just have to wade our way through it.
Exactly. Oh, I've loved this conversation.
Good.
Well, because you're giving us what you're doing for us is that you're giving us true clarity. You're giving us insight to what the divine, to what our angels, to what the universal energy is in it, and it's speaking through you. And I so appreciate how you've been able to open yourself up, open your heart space up, and be able to be the vessel of truth for all of us, and truth and wisdom. I'm just so grateful.
My
So
pleasure. Happy
thank
to
you. Oh my God, you're so adorable. Oh my goodness. And I think this is a good place to close our conversation for now. I did see a couple of other questions, but I think this is a really, really great place to close the conversation. And what I would encourage all of you to do, and Tanya will post all the links to getting, I was going to call you Dougal. I know you're really good friends with Dougal.
We are. We're
I
really
know.
And literally, he was texting me literally as I was going online. I'm like, I'm with Liz. Go away.
I've met you both at the same time, and oh my goddess, I'm so in love with you both.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I am totally committed to having you both at live events. And
Thanks.
I want to create what I had shared with you, and I shared this with other people as well. We're going to create an event called, what was it called? Mystics, Miracles, and Magic.
Yes.
Isn't that a great? And we're going to do it live, and we might do it online. We'll see. We're formulating things. I know I teased it before, but we are going to do that event with all the people all the fabulous people that are in that realm.
It's a fun group.
Yes.
It's like everybody I love. So.
Exactly. All right, everybody. We're saying goodbye for right now, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. From my heart to yours, I'm always so grateful when all of you show up and you participate, you hang out with us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I am going to announce our first online class ever, and I'm going to be teaching it, and it is going to be on relationships and dating and how to find the love of your life, how to break through all the relationship bullshit and find the love of your life. So I'm going to be teaching that. Everybody is sending you so much love. They are sending you those kisses and hugs, and everybody's sending you so much love. Melanie and Jaitara and everyone, Cynthia and Greta. So thank you all so much for joining us, and love you all so much.